warming up is way more important than most people think. Hey guys, Mark McKilley with Live Anabolic, and let's talk about warming up. It's really important. Matter of fact, it's much more important than most people realize. And if you're my age, it's even more critical. Matter of fact, if you're over probably the age of 40, all you guys in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, man, not only is warming up important to prevent injury, but it's actually going to increase your performance. So I got 3 different things I want to discuss when it comes to warming up. And guys, we got injuries we want to avoid, but also when you're going through your workouts, you want to get as much out of your workout as possible. And if you warm up properly, you will be able to hit your exercises much harder, which means you'll be getting more out of them. Because remember, it's the intensity that really, determines how good our workouts are. So if you're killing it and really pushing yourself hard, then you're damaging more muscle fibers, all right? And the more we damage them, the more your body overcompensates when it repairs and regrows those muscles, okay? So if you're only, getting 3/4 out of your workout, you're kind of wasting 25% of your effort. So just a super simple warm-up will make a huge difference. So let me just give you, before we get into the 3 different examples or suggestions on how to warm up, I just want to give you an example of a friend of mine. So I used to work out with a young guy in the Marines. He's 30 years younger than me. His name's Austin. And we would only work out twice a year because we lived in different cities. Well, we moved to the same city, and for several months, we were working out 5-6 days a week together. Well, I started forcing him to do my warm-ups, all right? And he was kind of like, God, Mark, this is taking too long. I don't need this. I feel fine, all right? Well, guess what? Especially on certain exercises. And he really wanted to build a big chest, all right? And so when I forced him to start doing my warm-ups for your chest, he said it radically changed the way he felt. And he said he actually felt stronger doing the exercise, which meant he was able to lift more weight, which means he got way more out of the workouts, even though he was still putting the same amount of effort in to the workouts now versus previously. But, the results were really that much better. And then, it's not just that, just pay it. All you guys know this, but all the elite athletes, and I don't mean just Olympic athletes, just look at NFL, the NBA, all these guys, they spend a long time before the game warming up, before they go out there, all right? And so, dude, these guys, you're talking about multi-billion-dollar industries. And these guys, any little tiny advantage they can get over the other guys is worth a ton of money when it comes to the outcomes of these games. So, man, they have the most advanced trainers out there. They get into the science big time, and those guys spend a ton of time warming up before they get into their real activity. So stick around, guys. 3 simple things, all right? I'm gonna tell you, and then before I get there, I just wanna remind you real quick, our Facebook group, all right? So check out the link below this video because we got tons of people on this YouTube channel, but we also have tons of guys in our Facebook group. It's free. That's the other thing that's really cool. Both our YouTube channel that you're watching on right now, plus our Facebook group are totally free. And I'm the moderator on the Facebook channel. So I get in there every day and I answer everybody's questions. And then, of course, all the other guys are answering each other's questions. It's really cool. You're going to be impressed by the people in the group. Bunch of great guys helping each other out, inspiring everybody else, because I guarantee you there's going to be hundreds, if not thousands of guys in there right now that have your exact same problems and your exact same questions, and you're going to get a lot out of it. All right, so the first thing I want to tell you guys to do when it comes to warming up before a workout, and that is going to blow your mind. Do not stretch. All right? Sounds kind of weird, doesn't it? So remember, we are doing resistance training, all right? We're actually, trying to build muscle, all right? We're not doing cardio stuff, all right? So this has actually been debunked. This has been a while since the studies came out. I mean, at least a good 10 years, maybe 20 years ago. And most of you guys probably haven't heard about it because you're just not in the industry. But static stretching, I mean, you know, where you're touching your toes or you're stretching, you know, your chest out or whatever, okay, actually is not good for your workout, all right? And it's not that it's going to cause an injury, but doing a lot of static stretching where you stretch the muscle and hold it for 20, 30 seconds, you know, all right, actually will make you slightly weaker for your upcoming workout. All right, now stretching is good, but do it after your workout. So remember, before you work out, your muscles are kind of cold and tight, and you don't want to try to stretch a cold, tight muscle. You want to stretch afterwards when you're warm, okay? Then stretch away, okay? But don't stretch before your workouts. I got 2 other things I want you to do instead of the stretching. All right, so number 2, instead of stretching before you work out, do a dynamic warm-up. And dynamic means basically just kind of any kind of cardio type of exercise. And all I'm trying to do is get the blood flowing and your heart rate up just a little bit, all right? So when you do that, it literally warms up your body, all right? And it warms up not just your muscles, but your tendons, your ligaments, and your joints. So guys, I don't care what muscle group you're about to do, just get the blood flowing. I mean, you can just do, you know, 30, 40 jumping jacks. You can do some body weight squats, all right? You know, all this kind of stuff helps out. You might get on the ground for you guys and just do some mountain climbers. I would recommend doing all these together, all right? You can do high knees, you can do butt kicks, all right? You don't have to do a lot, okay? Do about 60 seconds. You'll get a little out of breath, catch your breath, all right? Give yourself 20, 30 seconds till you gotta get back, and then do it again, all right? So just warm up a little bit, all right? Because after you do that, I'm gonna tell you how to do example number 3, and this is the one I think that you're really gonna enjoy. All right, tip number 3, this is the last, all right? And this is the most important, guys. I want you to focus on the muscle group that you're working. Now, sometimes you guys, depending on your workouts, you're gonna be hitting every muscle group in your body. And if that's the case, you need to spend even more time on number 2, the dynamic workout that I just talked about. But I want you to target each muscle group that you're just about to do. A lot of times, depending on what phase you're in or what workout program you're doing, sometimes you guys are only gonna be doing one muscle group, okay? So focus on that muscle group and do lots of little super baby sets. Now, let me give you a couple examples. So let's say you're about to do a chest workout and you're gonna focus on chest. You're gonna do, you know, 12, 14, 16 sets, all right? You know, really hard, lots of intensity. Well, before you push it, before you do that first tough set, I want you to do at least 3 super simple warm-up sets that target your chest muscles, all right? So a lot of times that means just go to the very first exercise that you're gonna do in your workout, all right? So if you're doing dumbbell, all right, bench presses, go to that exercise and get really light dumbbells. I would say start off with maximum 50% weight of what you're gonna end up doing. So if you're gonna end up doing 50-pound dumbbells for chest press, start with 25s, all right? Get down with those 25s and knock out just 8 or 10 easy reps, guys. Don't push it to exhaustion. I want you to stop long before you get tired. Put them down, give yourself 45 seconds, maybe a minute rest, and then do it again. Now, the second warm-up set, go up in the weight just a tiny bit. So go from 25, say, to 30 pounds, all right? Knock out 8 or 10 reps. It's gonna feel really easy, right? All I'm trying to do is get the blood flowing in those muscles. Now, guys, this is a trick that I learned several years ago. When you're doing your chest, all right, you're putting a lot of stress on your shoulders, okay, that joint. Plus, it's a compound exercise. You're using your triceps and your shoulders, and actually you're using some muscles in your back. So before you do a really tough chest workout, I want you to do this too. This is part of your dynamic workout. So you do 1 set of chest, super lightweight, get the same dumbbells, same lightweight, and I want you guys just to do some bent over rows, all right? You don't have to get a heavy weight, but what you're doing here is you're warming up a lot of the other muscles in your shoulder and your back, a lot of those stabilizer muscles that you're gonna end up using when you start really pushing the heavy weight, all right? You're gonna love this, guys. So my Marine buddy, Austin, that I was just discussing earlier, he had some shoulder issues. So when he was doing heavy weight, he was using 110-pound dumbbells, all right, on chest press. Well, he was complaining that he had some soreness in the shoulder joint. Well, I had him start warming up ahead of time, not just with chest press, lightweight. I had him doing some rows with dumbbells, and he did 3 warm-up sets with increasingly heavier dumbbells, rowing, and that warmed up his shoulder joint so much so that when he was doing the heavy chest press with 110-pound dumbbells, he said his shoulders felt fantastic. And that meant he could push it harder in his regular sets, which means he was doing more reps, and then ultimately he was able to do more weight. So guys, warming up is way more important than most people think. And stretching, just doing dynamic stretching, is not the way to warm up, I promise. That was an old way of thinking when I was young, and even when I was in my 20s and 30s. You know, everybody thought you're just supposed to stretch, all right? So if you're gonna do legs, all right, if you're hitting that muscle group, you know, I don't want you on the ground, you know, stretching your hamstrings, doing hurdle stretches, all right? You don't need to be stretching out your quads. What you need to be doing is dynamic warm up, like I showed you in tip number 2. And then before you hit those legs, you need to be doing the actual exercises, all right, that you're just about to do, but just do them with far less weight than what you're gonna end up doing. So you just start off with baby weight and do at least 3 warm-up sets. And I recommend each warm-up set to increase the weight just a little bit. Then the blood's flowing, your heart rate's up, your body is ready to go hard and intense. And so part of this warming up that I'm talking about is actually building that mind-muscle connection. You've heard me talk about that in a lot of these other videos. And so these big, serious bodybuilders, the guys that are huge, all right, now they'll spend 3-4 hours in the gym every day. That when they go from exercise to exercise, even though they're already warmed up, all right, they'll go to a new exercise and they'll pick a really light weight on the new exercise, and they'll just do really strict form for about 8 reps. It's gonna be easy for them, but all they're doing is getting that ability to really focus on the muscle that they're targeting with the new exercise. And then after that, boom, they'll go up to a much heavier weight, and I mean really kill it. So guys, 3 things that you really need to do every single time before you do a tough workout. And not only will it minimize your chances of injury, but it will also maximize the results from your workouts. And remember guys, you can't just do it occasionally. You got to stick with it and never give up on yourself.